Let me tell you guys about one of the easiest and most enhancing forms of product persuasion ever created: the advertisement. Advertisements have existed since the beginning of human civilizations. For thousands of years, people have spread new forms of persuasion to influence people on their day-to-day decisions. For many of us, advertisements consist of what is found in our televisions, our phones, and our computers. While 300 to 400 years ago, people just stapled a piece of paper to a board and called it a day. It's clear that the way we influence people and how we make decisions has changed drastically over a very quick period of human history. And guess what? I fucking hate it. Companies have really shit the bed hard on the crap they put out to consumers. And I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this either. So today we're going to take a quick dive into how and why companies make the garbage decisions that they make to appeal to customers, and why they probably shouldn't change the way they market their products. In the new modern era of commercials and marketing, you really should just stop with the fucking idea that if I put some celebrity as the face of my brand, I'm gonna get fetuses to buy this garbage. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to endorse wiping his asshole with Charmin bathroom tissue, I wouldn't give a fuck, and it would not affect my decision on buying toilet paper at all. I know I made fun of this quite a few times, but it's seriously just a stupid way of thinking. Like, why would anyone take a look at a brand of Takis and think to themselves, yep, I'm gonna buy this because the funny Fortnite man bit into a Taki chip? Nobody does this. This has definitely never happened, and I most definitely have not done this, especially in the past under any circumstances, because that would just be a completely ridiculous way of thinking. The overall goal of an advertisement is to spread the word of your product to as many people as possible. And boy, does that apply nowadays. To most of the people behind the deplorable advertisements that are found on my channel, they're fully aware that the stuff they make ends up killing most of my brain cells. I think the most prominent example of this has to be the Truth commercial advertisements. They knew damn well that the stuff they were making was just flat out embarrassing. The one they made like 5 years ago was probably the best attempt at creating the most uncomfortable ad in history. That shit made my skin crawl out of my skin. And yet here we are, 5 years later, still talking about how awful it was. They knew damn well the garbage that they were creating was gonna spread like wildfire, and it worked! The best way to describe it is by this quote: "The worst ads are always the most memorable." Trends, in my opinion, are the biggest thing that giant corporate ads attempt to capitalize on. The only problem is that they suck at hitting trends and end up putting out ads months or even years after the trend has subsided. At this point, there's just too many to count, but regardless, the point I want to make is that they really capitalize on hip trends way too late.
Pick out your whip so you can nay-nay. Pick out your whip so you can nay-nay, and do the stanky leg, do the stanky leg.
I think the best explanation would probably go back to the last point I made, where companies are fully aware of how bad they make their advertisements, and do so just to get people talking about it. As a proud member of the Corporation of Public Broadcasting, or whatever the fuck they call it, I would like to formally introduce our newest policy in marketing development. Our goal is to enforce internet trends into our corporate advertisements while maintaining a strict policy to allow these trends to flatline before using them to our benefit. We tend to allow the use of certain trends to become available by around 9 to 12 months before we use them to our benefit. With the following statement out of the way, we would like to formally introduce our newest marketing strategy for our good friends over at Geico: Angry Birds. Because everybody in 2022 is currently playing Angry Birds. Also, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. This 3-step formula has been driven into the minds of every single marketing developer in recent history. And as much as I hate to say it, they know what they're doing, and they've gotten really good at it too. All these commercials are meant to be making fun of, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that's the entire purpose behind them in the first place. The point isn't to intrigue you, it's just meant to create a buzz of memes and hate on the internet around it.
All of us are making fun of how bad it is and how nobody should support Grubhub, but in actuality, we are the ones sharing their message. By the power of memes, we're being tricked to advertise for free. The company has of course picked up on this, and they're playing along with it on Twitter. The original intent was for spreading Grubhub awareness, but now we're all talking about it as a joke. Because of that, they're getting the name out there, ultimately doing its job.
Anyways, when the next shitty commercial comes out, I'll be sure to make fun of it. But until then, peace out!
I'ma need a minute.
Eating a burger with no honey mustard. 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 Eating a burger.